All beginner DJs get to a point where they wonder, should I be playing a song this fast? Or even this slow? What should you do if you end up somewhere like here on the tempo adjust? Should you be resetting the tempo? Should you be playing a song that fast or that slow? And what should you do next about it? In this tutorial, we're here to break down what to do in this situation. So it's a question we get asked a lot from beginner DJs when they're learning to DJ, is that what do I do about the BPM and the tempo when I start moving up and down the ranges in my library? So for example, not all music is produced at the same speed. And say if you're a DJ, even if you're just playing house music, you might find that some tracks are produced at 126 BPM originally, some are produced at 120 BPM, some at 128. Now if you start your set at 126 BPM, for example, then if you load another song in that's 128, you're going to have to make it slower. Now 2 BPM shouldn't alter the sound of the track that much. However, let's say the next track you're playing's original BPM is 132 BPM. You're wanting to pick the pace up, but you're going to have to make that one even slower still. And you'll see we're now stepping down the tempo adjust. The track that was originally 132 BPM is now being played at 126 and might start to sound a little bit strange because it's not its original BPM. But what do you do in this situation? Do you just knock the BPM back to its original speed? Or do you do it gradually? Well, there are many ways to do this, and what tracks you're playing depends on how you can get back to an original BPM or speed or slow down the tempo of your set. So in this tutorial, we're going to break down how to do just that and some tips around keeping your set and playing tracks around their original speed. The music we use in this tutorial can be downloaded via our Crossfader music pack for free. All you need to do is sign up and the link will be available at the end. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff to help us keep making more tutorials just like this one. So I have 2 tracks loaded here on this controller. On the left hand side is Take 26 by Louis Smith and Jordan Fleet, and on the right I have Draw by Mike Defect. Now the problem with this is, say if I want to mix from the left hand side to the right, the original BPM of the left is 126 and the original BPM of the right is 130 BPM. So to mix these I would have to slow down the one on the right to 126 BPM or thereabouts. Now, it's not too far on the tempo adjust. You'll see the 0 position is the original speed, and we've only gone a little bit slower. So this track might not sound too bad at that speed. But imagine the next track that I would want to play. Let's say it's this one by Sketchy, This Is Love. To slow this down to 126 from 134 is going to drastically change the way that the song sounds. If you have a quick listen, if I skip into it to the drop, it's quite a bass heavy track. This is at 126 BPM and this is the original BPM. It's much faster. So you don't want to get stuck at 1 BPM throughout your entire set. So here's the first tip for how to get back to the original BPM. If you're mixing from something at 126 over to this side where it's 4 BPM, 3% slower, then what we can do is when we've mixed the songs, we could slowly speed the tempo adjust up and we could take a good even 30 seconds. Why do we do this? Well, it's important that if you're playing to an audience and a crowd, that you don't change their rhythm too much. You don't throw them off. If they're in a repetitive dance sort of environment, you don't want that beat to suddenly speed up drastically, and it'll throw their dancing off, it'll throw their groove off as well. So by doing it slowly, you're controlling the crowd and you're picking the energy up and picking the speed of their dancing up. So let's do a quick example. Let's make this 126 BPM and I'm going to mix these 2 tracks. Nothing fancy, just a really basic mix, no effects apart from using the filters and some EQs. So let me skip later into this song.
You're not alone.
Now the best thing to think about here is do not change that tempo just until you've mixed the opposite side out. Otherwise it's going to go out of time. So wait till that fader's fully out. And you'll see now I'm going to take my time, slowly speeding the track up. So it's unnoticeable to the listener or the people dancing in the club or party you're playing at. And I can keep going until I get back to that 0 position. Now if you know that the next track you're going to play is lower in BPM again, say 126, and you don't want to pick it up by 4 BPM and go down, you could keep it maybe a couple of BPM slower. You don't have to always get back to 0, but if you know that you're going to be playing something of a similar BPM to this one's original value, then get it back to the 0 position. And there we are, we're at 130. This now means we can play our next track in our playlist, and we're only slowing that down again by 4 BPM, and we can then pick the pace up in the exact same way. Okay, so what happens then if you are jumping a few more BPM? Say we're going from this track at 134 BPM down to a track at 124 BPM. Now, you could do this in stages by doing a few BPM at a time and fill the gaps, but imagine you're playing to a crowd that really wants certain types of music and you've got to switch it up quite often. There are opportunities that can be had with certain bits of music. So if I have a listen to the track I've now got loaded on my right hand side, I'll skip to where the breakdown comes in. So we've got a nice breakdown that's just basically got a vocal by itself. And you'll notice here there is actually a silence before the vocal even starts. So we go from the drum beat to dead silence. Now, this is a great opportunity in a song because what we can do in that silence is make a drastic adjustment to the BPM, especially in this more popular style of music, things with vocals, things with big build-ups and breakdowns, because it's not as obvious, it's not as repetitive like, say, tech house or techno or something. You wouldn't want to do a big jump in BPM when it's that repetitive. But popular music, commercial music, these bigger jumps in BPM, even hip-hop and R&B, you don't want to leave a track playing slowly down here and then picking the pace up. You want to get back to that original speed nice and quick, so it sounds natural. So this silence is the perfect opportunity. Let's have a listen to how this would work in a mix. Now remember, this is going to be a lot faster, and I'm going to have to knock it down to its original speed in that gap. 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. So obviously we've got to pick the speed right up to 134 BPM. I'm just going to beat match these. And then if we started mixing, now you'll notice I do this in one swift movement. 4, 3, 2. And because it goes into a really nice mellow breakdown with the vocal, it doesn't sound too obvious changing the BPM by a drastic amount. And there we moved 10 BPM in just one mix. This now opens up more doors when mixing between different songs in your music library, and it gives you more scope to move up and down slightly different genres. Now, if you're interested in how to move even bigger BPMs, let's say we're going from a house track at 126 BPM down to a hip hop track at 90, 99, 100 BPM, then there are other ways to do that, and we have a specific tutorial available on our website. You can click the link to access and sign up for that now, or you can check out some easy beginner methods via the YouTube video that we've created as well. There are 3 different methods for mixing between different genres for beginners as well. So you can check those out. There's some extra content there to help you get confident with your music library mixing between genres. But remember, this tip is very important. Think about what speed you're playing your songs at and try and get them at least near or close to their original BPM. You don't want to be playing songs drastically fast or drastically slower than their original BPM. Now, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and do all that good stuff to help us keep making more videos like this. And as promised, if you want access to the Crossfader music pack and the songs used in this tutorial, then all you need to do is sign up via the link and check your emails, and you can get a nice download full of exclusive free music to DJ with. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in another tutorial very soon.